What can I say? My world has fallen apart. The love of my life, my best friend, has died. Tom fought so bloody hard, but in the end, his soul was ready to go. When I die, I want a death just like Tom's. I know that might sound strange to some people, but his death was so magical. There was something so peaceful about the moment Tom passed that it has made me no longer scared of dying. Let's face it, we've all thought about dying at some point in our lives, and it's terrifying. We don't want to leave our loved ones behind, especially our children. And sometimes I think that the younger they are, the more fearful you are about dying and leaving them. Will they remember me when they grow up? Will they remember how much I loved them? Then there is death itself. What will it feel like? Will it hurt? Will I know I am dying? What will happen to my body? Which is silly, really, because you are dead. But there is still that thought of being buried or cremated that can feel unsettling. Tom and I never discussed death. We never discussed him dying. In fact, even when I knew he only had days left, we never spoke about it. He knew, I knew, but nothing was said. The truth is that, despite Tom's tumour and its slim survival rates, we never actually thought he'd die. I know some people might think we were unrealistic or naive not to realise his prognosis wasn't good and that he wouldn't survive, but we did believe he would beat it. Tom might have been diagnosed with a brain tumour in August 2020, but he wasn't ill. When I say that, of course he was ill in that he was living with cancer, but for most of the time, he never looked ill, and he certainly didn't act ill. He was laughing and joking until the very end. Tom ate well, he exercised, his bloods were good. Apart from the scans showing us this tumour, you wouldn't think he had cancer. But then, one day, everything went downhill. Tom had been on the road with The Wanted for their Greatest Hits reunion tour just weeks earlier in March 2022. And while it was only 2 weeks of dates, it was clear it had taken it out of him. He was desperate to go and join the boys on stage, and he didn't want to miss out. And in fairness, Tom was doing so well before the tour. I remember the Friday night he came back from their last gig in Liverpool, and he was absolutely buzzing. He laid down on the sofa and he was just my usual Tom, being really funny and jokey. But then the next day when he woke up, it was like he had deteriorated. I was wondering what was wrong with him. Perhaps he was just exhausted. After all, he had just been on tour and he has cancer. Maybe he pushed himself too much. Then that Saturday night, while we were at our home in Petts Wood, he got up in the middle of the night to use the toilet and fell and hurt himself. Shit, I thought. Though at this point, I still didn't think he was going downhill. We were due to fly to Spain for immunotherapy. We'd been there in February and it had always been the plan to go back there once the tour was over to give him another boost. But I took one look at him and knew we would have to delay it.